Everybody, welcome to the Weed Club Igloo. Today we have Jeffthe420Chef. Welcome to the Weed Club Igloo, Jeff. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
So, Jeff is world famous for making a very unique line of canna butters, edibles, and for being a teacher. And so, Jeff, tell us a little bit about Jeffthe420Chef. And you're here in San Francisco today. What brings you here? And let's hear some more about Jeffthe420Chef.
Basically what I do is I teach people how to do it yourself and make your own edibles. As everybody knows, you go into a dispensary health center, you're going to get an edible, but it's going to be a hybrid of many different things. And at the end of the day, you don't know whether it's going to be a sativa or an indica, if you're going to be focused and creative, or if you're going to fall asleep. So I teach people how to understand the different strains, what they need, and then how to actually use it to cook their favorite dishes, their favorite meals. So pretty much that's what it is. I'm in San Francisco teaching. I've got a bunch of classes that I've been doing. I do them through Feastly. So they're almost like the Airbnb for chefs. And they set something up. And then on top of that, I'm also here for the Soma Get Baked sale, where I'll be cooking canna pancakes for a bunch of industry VIPs on Saturday.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So what's the secret? We talk a lot about tasteless edibles, and without getting into the secret, is there a process? Is it the type of butter you use? Is it the temperature? Any tips for home chefs out there?
I can give a few tips. The first is you always want to use a grass-fed butter. At least for me, that's the best thing. It's much better for you, and it actually tastes a lot better and give you a much cleaner product. But on top of that, if you're going to make specifically a butter to cook with or an oil, you want to make sure that you're going to, you have to blanch it first. Basically, that's boiling it in water for like 5 minutes, and then soaking it in ice water for another minute, basically just to shock it back. And then once you dry it out and you take out the chlorophyll and some of the terpenes, etc., then you're taking out a lot of the flavor and that green color. So you'll actually come out with a much more yellow or whiter butter. So it's not going to be what you typically see out there. You're also going to get a really great product out of it. So one other tip I can give you is if you are going to cook with canna butter or canna oil, never go above 350 degrees. So my suggestion is set your ovens at 340, because ovens fluctuate 5 to 10 degrees, and once you hit 350, you start to denigrate the THC, and you don't want that.
How'd you get into making your butters, and how did it all get started?
It started actually personally for myself. I was just tired of getting edibles. I didn't know what I was getting. But on top of that, I had a friend whose mom was sick, and I was cooking for her, and just learned, what the different strains were about. For her, it was more about the CBDs and the THC, just to make her feel better, based on what she was going through. And at the end of the day, it worked. And I started cooking for other people, and everyone said, but what about that taste? And I figured out how to take the taste out. So I teach how to make light tasting canna butters. And then for my private clients, I actually make things with my tasteless canna butters and oils.
So, you keep talking about your clients. Now, who are your clients? Who's coming to these events?
I can't give names, but I can tell you that, I teach a lot of chefs. I do believe that there's going to be a whole army of 420 chefs out there before you know it, and people are starting to learn how to do this, specifically for the reasons that I mentioned earlier, where you want to know what you're getting. You want to know if you're going to have an edible experience that's going to either be fun or it's going to be before you go to bed and it's going to put you to sleep. So if you understand that, you understand the strains you're working with, then you can make some really fun stuff happen.
What about for first timers? So, a lot of people are interested in, switching from pharmaceuticals or alcohol, and they want to try cannabis, and maybe they don't want to vape it or smoke it, so they want to eat it. And so, any advice for first time edibles people?
Well, first get your medical marijuana card. That's the first thing if you're in a medical state. If you're in recreational, then definitely buy pedigree. I call them pedigrees. It's either going to be a sativa or an indica. Sativa is going to get you creative and focused, and indica is going to sort of like couch lock you and sort of relax you and maybe even put you to sleep. I would not use a hybrid to start because you don't know what you're going to get. Follow my butter recipe on Jeffthe420Chef.com. You'll make your own light canna butters, canna oils, and start cooking with it very lightly. And you'll understand how to dose, etc., if you come to one of my classes.
Awesome. Well, everybody check out Jeffthe420Chef.com. Thank you so much for joining us in the Weed Club Igloo. Looking forward to our next meeting.
Thanks. Looking forward to it as well. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure.